you and thinking about you, and his son reached out and was asking about you. So,
ready? All right, we're back. First Gen Wealth podcast. Jim's in a new outfit. I'm in the same outfit for round 2 here.
Play the part, man.
So today, what do you want to talk about, bro? I'm gonna give it to you. You got the floor.
Well, just one thing before we actually talk about the thing.
So we're don't forget about that.
No, it's just one thing. So
right.
I listen to Joe Rogan's podcast. In the beginning is always they're just having a conversation.
Yeah.
It just it's in the middle of the conversation sometimes. And you and I are always talking, and then it's like, okay, here we go. Like, we should just start what we're talking. So anyway, that's one thing.
We got that B-roll, Micah. You can start us off there.
Yeah, do it up, whatever. I don't care, whatever.
We'll try the Joe Rogan experience.
I don't know, because sometimes we talk about cool stuff.
Yeah. I don't even remember what we were just talking about.
I was just talking about somebody that
reached out.
Recognized me from the podcast.
That's right.
That's right. Kind of interesting. That was the first time I've said they recognized me from the podcast and asked who I was. But every once in a while, I hear people say, "Oh, I listened to your podcast." And I go, "Oh, yeah, what'd you like about it?" I'm like,
oh no, I have to walk around in a hoodie. I can't. People just come.
Oh yeah, right. So, I watched the video. I wasn't able to go to this, but it's on your YouTube channel of you talking to some local business owners and business leaders about how you I think it was last May, made a decision to really go all in on your marketing efforts. We talked a little bit about it on the pod, but really going all in on your pod. And then before your health scare recently, you started this personal brand.
Yeah.
And you made a comment to me like, I was going down this path and now all that kind of just seems silly to me. So I wanted to but I've seen some stuff, the logo, and so I wanted to ask you about your personal brand. Where are you at with that? And like, what's the plan for it? Are you still doing it?
Yeah. So we, that was set to launch in April, randywoodworth.com. Don't do it. It's not live yet. Still in beta.
Maybe by the time we air.
Maybe. Yeah. So, we've been working on it since February, really shifting into the personal brand and kind of making that a landing page to go to all my different ventures, including this podcast, my commercial investment stuff, and some consulting stuff, and just some different, but really just pushing the RW, Randy Woodworth. And that's where that, little logo that you see on my Facebook in the background, it's that RW Randy Woodworth logo. And then it turned into the Pray for Randy and the Randy Woodworth logos that everybody's carrying around, which is awesome. So that wasn't just like developed, because of my health situation. That was we had already done that. And, but I did, I shelved it for a moment because it did seem silly. Like, I've got bigger fish to fry. You know what I mean? Like, I've got to deal with some stuff here, so that just seemed like really kind of like secondary or tertiary, even like back burner. But it is important. And I think, as time goes on and I continue to fight and battle, I think I will share more and more of that story. Because I do think, we all have something to offer people, and I want to be able to, I want to be able to change people's hearts and minds about certain things. And I think if I share some of that stuff, I'll be able to do that. So I can see I think we'll probably get that launched, the randywoodworth.com, and really start focusing on the personal brand stuff. It's going to be different than what it was originally intended. But it's an important thing for everyone, because if you're in sales or, marketing, sales, whatever, if you're in this line of work where name recognition is important, that's your personal brand. No matter what you're doing, if you're selling cars, if you're selling furniture, your mortgages, houses, anything in the sales world, they've got to come in and ask for you, right? Or they got to think of you when it comes time for that purchase. And the way that happens is brand awareness and personal brand marketing. And so, I think that'll lead to additional things for my team, which is important to me. I really want to see these guys thrive in my office and actually just kind of take over the world, quite frankly. I'd love a situation where, I don't have to be here at all. They're just, crushing it. Maybe there's some other general manager sitting in this seat or something like that. But yeah, so the personal brand thing, it did get shelved, bro. It was weird because it felt unimportant for a while. My health was the most important thing. So now that I've kind of got my mind, soul, and body around that, we'll probably kind of push that forward a little bit.
So,
and you should be doing that, by the way.
Well, I'm riding your coattails, man.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, my personal brand's Randy's brother, Randy's son, whatever people think of me.
Yeah, son, F you, bro. No, I have been noticing you've been throwing some of your clips that you've done on this podcast on your success group. Awesome. I definitely love that. Use them because I'm still kind of weird about it right now. It feels a little weird for me.
Well, guess what? I don't have a choice because Missy does that, all of it. I have no say in what gets posted. So she's creating it all. She's posting it all. She's scheduling it out. So if you have someone doing that, then you don't have to feel weird about it. It just happens without you doing anything.
Good call. Good job, Missy. Keep it up.
Missy's doing awesome. And yeah, we talked a couple months ago on this podcast about how we were going to be shifting as a company of doing a lot more online stuff. So that's part of it. And I'm thinking my personal brand too, where I'm posting more on Instagram, those videos and things like that. But with your personal brand, you're talking about randywoodworth.com. You mentioned the podcast, some consulting, your commercial stuff. But then you also said something about changing hearts and minds of people. Are you thinking like politically? Or are you thinking like your health journey?
Yeah, my health journey and spiritually. Like I said on the last podcast, I've been in kind of a constant state of prayer. I think God has been really speaking to me through this process. So I think it's an important story to share. I haven't really got my head around how, but I think I'll be doing that. Maybe. We'll see.
At what point, like I'm just because we really haven't talked about what's going on. We just know something's going on.
I know, it's a big mystery.
It is. So do you think you'll feel comfortable like giving specifics about that?
I'll get there. Yeah. I'll get there. The reason I don't want to share the specifics is because people will start like Googling it and then they'll, like you just get down a...
Well, I think that's why I had such a hard time when you first told me. I immediately Googled it.
Yeah.
And it was like... it's like when people do WebMD because they have a headache and then they're going to die tomorrow because they've got some crazy thing. It's some scary shit when you start down that path.
Yeah.
And so I made the decision. I'm like, okay, I will not Google another word you tell me. And like I said last episode, it's no longer being hopeful. It's just the expectation that you're going to beat it. And,
it's a matter of time.
And that's my mindset. Easier said than done for you. Maybe you're in a different place, but
I'm otherwise healthy. You know what I mean? I actually going into this, I'm the best shape of my life. And I'm not sick. You know what I mean? Like I don't feel physically sick. Now, some of those treatments I'm getting are kind of making me that way. But at the end of the day, I'm strong. I'm going to beat it. And that'll be that. It'll be behind us. like I said in the last episode, it's a hurdle. We've seen lots of those, and this is just another one. So, but I think, I'm getting to the point where I am so confident that I'm going to conquer it, that I'm okay. I'm getting there. I'm getting close to sharing that news and stuff, and I want to document that journey a little bit. And it's really like, dang it, I wished I would have, I was in a really bad place for a little while. It's not really something you want to document, but it's kind of like you should, so you can kind of show the progression, but I can just talk about it, I guess.
Yeah. Well, I think the really dark place happened when you first found out that there might be something wrong. This is what I observed anyway. You found out there might be something wrong, but you weren't sure what it was. And it was 2 weeks of Randy in a dark place. And then once you found out what it was like, boom, the switch has been flipped, and now I'm in attack mode, or I'm fighting.
You're probably right.
And that's the unknown was scary, but then it's like, it doesn't matter what you tell me I got. Like now I know what it is, and now I've got a plan.
Yeah. Yeah. We got a really good plan. So, So enough about that. So, I think the importance of personal brand hasn't changed. And I think we're going to get there, with that launch. And we'll see where it goes. We'll see where that journey leads. I'm kind of just open to, I'm open to kind of just kind of let it develop and evolve on its own. And just probably get a little bit vulnerable in sharing some stuff, and we'll see what happens. And again, the biggest thing, obviously, we do all of this. Why? Because we want to bring in customers, which leads to sales, which leads to money. That's the whole idea, is building your personal brand to help your company, to help your business. And that just kind of flows downstream, because everything I'm doing right now, or any leads I get, are being
handled by your team.
They're handled. So, I'm all about it, man. Let's generate as many leads as possible and let these guys run, because they're crushing it. I'm very impressed with already how much they've done this year. So, I can't, there is no like turning it off for me, right? Like once I'm on, I'm on. So let's go, health first, family first, mind, body, spirit, and then work, but that's a close fourth.
Well, and I think that for you and for me too, a lot of that is, it all runs in together.
It is. It's very much it's my personality. It's me as an individual. The deal junkie thing is just a part of me. So
even you talk about family first, and I'm your family. Molly's your family, your wife.
Yep.
And she's involved in a different way of all of the intricacies of your business, and manages some different things and helps with the accounting of different projects. And obviously I'm involved. So family and business, it's hard to separate the two when you're engulfed in
it's all
both
intertwined.
Together.
Yeah, it's all intertwined.
And then you've got your work family. Like, to me, and I think you feel the same way about your people, but I truly love my people.
Yeah. 100%.
And they are family to me. And so regardless of whether I'm work-life balance, to me, it's just being balanced. There's not a work-life balance. It's just, how do you make both work together?
It's a good point. It's all part of the balance. It's all one thing that just needs attention at different places at different times. So that is good perspective there. It is just, that's just part of it, is work, because that is our identity a little bit. Mm-hmm. We've built something here, and we want to continue to see it grow. So,
well, and if you really if you can find something where you really enjoy doing, work is healthy.
Yeah.
Once I and in our last episode, I asked you, is there now a deal that you might do? And it's like, well, yeah, now that I'm thinking about it, I would potentially get back into it. And I think that's a healthy thing. You want to be looking for opportunities. You want to figure out ways to grow. And if you really, truly enjoy your work, then that's fulfilling.
Yeah.
If you don't enjoy your work, then you really should pursue your passion, because it's a long work life, for the next 20 years, 30 years, 10 years, however long you got, to not enjoy what you do. And there's so many different opportunities to pursue your passion and get paid for it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's the easiest thing in the world to do. And, it's the easiest thing in the world to do. It's a tough decision to make.
It's a tough decision to make, because there is security. And when I first started out in sales, I remember this top producing guy. He was saying, one of the things about sales when you're paid on commission is the uncertainty. And people say, I could never do that because, of the uncertainty. I never know what I'm going to get. And he said, in reality, it's the most certainty you'll ever have, because you control everything you do. And your income is solely on the results of your efforts. And if you're at a W-2 job and there's really no security at all, what happens if you get fired tomorrow? You can't control how that business operates to some extent. So when you're doing business for yourself, it is the most secure way of earning an income.
Your efforts and your money they align.
Correct. If you're finding what you're passionate about, because obviously I think if you're getting into something for the money, number one, it's the wrong reason. Find a solution that people need, find whatever it is, and find what you enjoy, and then put your efforts towards that. And maybe And maybe initially it's something really small, buying some stuff at a garage sale and then trying to resell it on eBay. And if that's your passion, like it can turn into, now you have a retail shop where you're, you know what I mean? Like whatever it is you like, that could be a part-time thing initially as you're using that day job to fund it, to fuel it, to create that energy.
Yep.
And ultimately you can make that decision. But I think the biggest thing is you and I have found something we truly, truly enjoy. And that's what I mean by, like, it's not a work-life balance. It's what fulfills
it's just
us.
life.
It's just life.
Yeah. 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 And it does. It is fulfilling. And for me, that's like, it just can't go away. Like I'm always on the hunt. And I enjoy that. And so we'll continue to hunt, for the deals. And I can't, 20 years from now, it's like, I'm still going to be looking. I'm still going to be looking for something, or at least I'm always going to have an eye for it. Right. It might not be on the hunt, but I'm always going to be open to the opportunities that present themselves.
I look at some of the business partners that you have or some people we deal with. One of them is in his 80s.
Yeah.
And it's to me, it's very inspiring. He is a business owner. He's looking for other opportunities. He does not need to do anything.
Nope.
He's set. And yet he still finds joy in helping us.
Yep.
Through some different financing vehicles. You know what I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah.
And he still finds joy in finding opportunities of, different ways. And it's the deal, like you said. But to me, like, somebody that is now just doing that because he enjoys it and loves it and is having fun, it tells you that it's not about the money.
Right. No, 100% right. Yeah. And it's the things that you can do with real estate that can, number one, flipping something for a profit. And when I say flipping, I'm not talking about house flipping. I'm just talking about an asset that you bought for less than you sold it for. Now, whatever that happened, like through lease up, through improvement, through both of those things, it is a cool thing. It's fulfilling, doing something that nobody else does, building stuff, redeveloping. It's awesome to watch all that happen. And people want to be a part of it. And that the gentleman you're talking about just wanted to be a part of that. And we've built some stuff with him. He's funded some projects for others that have built some stuff, and he's proud of that. He enjoys seeing it happen. And it is very unique to real estate, but I think you can find that joy in anything you do. I like your garage sale flipping ideas, but that side hustle that can become your passion, or it starts with the side hustles, maybe like the real estate game, the duplex or whatever. But you've got to find something that you enjoy. And if you enjoy going to work and coming home and shutting off, you found it. Congratulations. But if you aren't that guy, if you something's tugging on you, there's really no better time to go find your passion, because it leads to a life of fulfillment no matter what happens.
We should have a special guest, Joseph. I don't even know what he goes by.
Oh.
We should have him talk about his journey, because it was just that. Something was tugging at him.
Yeah.
And he sent us a message a couple weeks ago. I was like, I've paid off $35,000 worth of debt in the last, I don't know what it was, 6 months, 7 months. And it's by like doing things like, he's still working his job. He knows he wants to do something more, but he's picking up, like he's posting on Facebook that he wants us, anyone needing metal picked up, I'm scrapping metal. And he's finding ways to get more income, to pay off his debt, to do different things, to put him in a position now where he wants to buy a rental property in the next year. And the coolest thing about what he said is everyone at home is just happier.
Yeah. I was wondering if you're going to go there, because that's my favorite line of that little note he sent us.
It was, and to me, that's like, we do not have a huge following on this podcast, even though we say we have millions every once in a while, but you can see how many views.
Yeah, right.
But that, to me, that's like the coolest thing when you have.
Our reels have huge following.
Yeah, well, yeah, we do, whatever. But to see like a real life example of some of the stuff we've talked about, and this guy is putting it to action, like it's really cool to see. And we have very, I've never really, I don't know who he is.
Yeah.
I interact with him a little bit on Facebook now, but I don't know nothing about him.
He's a good dude.
But to like see his journey and have him tell us about his journey over the last 6 months.
Joe,
7 months.
I know you're listening
Yeah.
because you listen to everyone. Keep it up, brother.
Yep.
Can't wait to meet with you again, by the way.
It's pretty inspiring. And I think like his story will inspire others. So one of these times you can have him on or I can have him on and
we'll do the we'll do a special podcast when he's signing on his loan for his first investment property.
Yeah.
That'd be
cool.
kind of fun.
That'd be cool.
Or at least show some photos. But yeah, we'll have him on. I like that idea. He's proof in the pudding, man.
And that stems from I don't know, this was a long time ago. It seems like a year ago. We had talked about finding a mentor, and you and I had said, reach out to us. And he reached out to you, and we talked about, if you reach out to me, I'm probably gonna blow you off. I might give you an assignment. So you gave him an assignment, and then I think you blew him off after that, and then he followed up again,
Yep.
and then it was like, and then he showed up to your office, and now it's like a cool thing. So it doesn't have to be us, but finding a mentor that you see them, you see what they're doing, it inspires you. Don't be afraid to like say, hey man, I really see what you're doing, and I think it's awesome, and I would love for you to show me the way. I think what we've found over the years is people love to talk about themselves.
Yeah.
So they would, for the most part, I think they would be flattered, and they would at least give you a time for a coffee for the most part. So
yeah, and then that follow up, it's up to you. I think people will give you the time if you reach out and try to take the time. And somebody will. Might not be the first person that you reach out to, but somebody will. And I do. I will. Absolutely. You got to be persistent, and I will give you an assignment. That's how we weed out the.
Yeah, I don't want to waste time on somebody who's not going to put in time in them for themselves.
That's right. The biggest thing is, matter of fact, I've been working this individual who I bet you it's been 18 months. She's been talking about getting me her budget so we can go through it the Dave Ramsey style.
Yeah.
18 months. Oh, I'm gonna. I'm like, yeah, I'm not. And I feel zero motivation to help her until she actually does the thing I've been asking for. And so, you got to be able to, because you're never, if you can't do a simple assignment up front, you're never going to change. You're never going to do the big things. So you got to be able to do the little things, because that's how we stack. We always talk about the small stuff. So it's a small assignment, put together a budget. You've probably never done it.
Yeah, and really, I mean, to me, that's not it's a small assignment, but there's also that emotional like vulnerability of
it's
I'm
big
putting
time.
myself out there, and
Yep.
he's gonna see what I got.
Yeah.
And it's not a lot.
Guess
or,
what?
You know what I mean?
A lot of people are
It's-
broke. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, you look at any news headline, a lot of people are broke. So
Hey, I've been through it, man. I've been through it. And that's what I was, I think I've shared that before on this podcast. I've been through it. What I held the record at Quicken Loans for over a decade for the lowest credit score
wasn't
ever.
the lowest score. It was just the worst.
The worst credit report ever. Listen, so you can't there's no shame here, right? So share it and let's improve it. So anyway, with that, I'm gonna put a bow on this this episode of First Gen Wealth, bro. We don't know what the next episode will be.
Maybe you'll be ready to share more details.
Well, we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
We'll
It's
see.
like 3 weeks from now. So
Maybe it will be awesome.
Yep.
See you soon.